Live from my living room in the greater Boston area, it's Aligning with the Stars. Da 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 da. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Aligning with the Stars. I'm your host Aline, but you can call me Allie. Happy birthday, Dancing with the Stars, 20 years old. Who would have thought that a show about ballroom and Latin dancing would make it 20 years, and not just make it to 20, but have like an incredible run. It's on the up again. I hope to see it for at least another 20 years and hopefully many more after that. That was such an incredible celebration of the show, and a great birthday present to Dancing with the Stars was the elimination of Andy. Thank God. Good news. He's dead. We'll throw back to Wicked there. But yeah, that's very exciting. You know, he had a good run, but it was his time, and it was his time a few weeks ago, but whatever, we'll live. We also welcomed back Tom Bergeron to the ballroom. He was so awesome, so wholesome. His host personality really shined through in his judging. Such an incredible experience to watch. Absolutely loved him. I wish that we also got to see Erin Andrews back in some capacity, even if it was just a little video cameo, because I know that she's booked and busy right now. It's football season. But maybe one day she'll make her way back to the ballroom. That opening number was so fun. I loved seeing the OG pros back. I didn't watch season 1 because I was 4 years old when that was airing, so don't know too much about them. I did recognize Louis, but that's about it. But I love when all the pros get to dance. Like, the level of talent is insane. It's off the charts. Love it, love it, love it. Love all the little like remixes of the intro music that they had in the opening number and how it fit like all the different dance styles that they did. Loved that Danny and Derek duo. Like, what two incredible dancers. The fact that, I mean, Derek is obviously like one of the best pros to ever be on this show. He won 6 mirror balls. And the fact that Danny can be up there like and standing her ground and dancing with him at such an incredible level, like, oh, it was beautiful. And that also, like, all the Derek haters out there literally shut that up because, like, are we watching the same show? He's so good. I hate when people say, like, oh, why are Derek and Julianne in the opening numbers? Like, they're not pros on the show anymore. Shut up! Literally, like, they're the best. Like, they're the Huff siblings. They're just so incredible. Like, they've made this show what it is. They've put so much time and effort and love into this show. Like, they deserve to be up there dancing with the rest of them. Loved the tribute to Len. Beautiful, beautiful. It was an homage to their previous Len tribute that they did. They wore very similar costumes, had very similar structure in their routine, very similar formations, very similar movement to what they did in their previous Len tribute. That was beautiful. I teared up during that, and I also teared up when Tom walked out and did the intro. What a great moment that they let him do that. So just overall, such an incredible opening number. But I did find it very funny that they gave Julianne so much talking to do right after that opening number, because she was literally like sweating, panting, out of breath. And she already struggles a bit with her words when she's hosting, so I felt like that was a bit rude to make her do all of that. But anyways, loved it. Such an incredible way to start this celebration of Dancing with the Stars. After that, Elaine and Alan kicked things off with a salsa to It Takes Two. They received 4 9s for a total score of 36. I feel like salsa is a tough style to have this week when you compare it to the other dances that people had. In my opinion, salsa is like an early week dances because you just can't do as much like flashiness with it, and you don't get to showcase your skill level as much. And I also think just Latin dances in general don't score as well compared to the ballroom dances. But that being said, I absolutely loved it. Her legs are so incredible. Like, she's 54 and she looks like that. I hope I look even half as good as she does at 54. Incredible. There was so much content in that, like, which is why I hate, again, why people were like voting for Andy every week. He's only 4 years older than her, and if he tried to do something with that much content, he would probably fall over. And she's up there, 54, doing all of that. Her hip work was incredible. Bruno even commented that she was shaking it. Like, she just looks so good when she dances, and she's 54. She had very good stage presence, very high energy, and she always kills it when she goes out there. Like, her smile is to die for. You can tell that she is just having the time of her life out there. And that's kind of the dancer I was. Like, I was a stage presence girly. Even if I wasn't the best dancer in the room, I was going out there and I was putting on a performance. So I love to see that from other performers. And I think, sure, Elaine, like, she's not dancing to the same level as some of these other stars, but she goes out there and she performs to the same level, if not more, than the rest of them. Those spins at the end too, that was incredible. And as a reminder, she is injured and she just doesn't care. She's powering through. Absolutely love that. I loved when Tom like left his judging stand and like literally like jumped and hugged her. That was such a cute moment. And Carrie Ann pointed out her resilience, and again, like, she is injured. 2 weeks ago she wasn't even dancing, and now she's like out there doing a hard salsa routine. I really, really hope that she makes the finale because she totally deserves it. After that, Robert and Whitney went and they did a foxtrot to Footprints in the Sand, and they received 4 10s for a total score of 40. This was our first perfect score of the season, although I am counting the first true perfect scores as Alex's in the 2 previous weeks because she was robbed. But yeah, that was such a beautiful tribute to his whole family. Also, that Prince William cameo, that was crazy. I love that he really gets into the floor. He stays grounded. He has such good breath in his dance, very smooth. It was really captivating. He's grown so much as a dancer, specifically in these ballroom styles, because I felt like that was his weakness earlier on. Like, he was good in the Latin, he was good in the side-by-side, but when in frame, he struggled a bit, and I feel like he's kind of overcome that. I did feel like there were some movements where he could have like extended his movement a little bit more, but it was really, really beautiful overall. I loved that moment with Bindi at the end. In the video, they said that he didn't know that they were going to do that, which was like something that they did in Bindi and Derek's dance. So that was just like such a sweet moment. I can't imagine the emotions that that family feels when they go out there and they dance for their dad and they dance for their whole family. It's so beautiful. I do wish that Carrie Ann didn't comment on the lift thing at all. Like, it was Whitney's foot that came off the floor. It's not really the fault of Robert. They didn't like purposely put a lift in. It just happened on accident. So why even comment on it? You know it's gonna be a whole thing. Like, everything that she says gets highly scrutinized, so wish she didn't say that. Derek commented on like how he loved being a part of the story, and I love that too. That's such a sweet moment. He also said that Robert is a beacon of joy. I do wish that they gave more commentary on his actual dancing though. They were just kind of like speaking about his vibes and the vibe of the dance and less about the actual steps in the dance, which I don't always love. And I thought there would be at least 1 9, but that's not really a dance that you can give anything less than 10 to. Would be kind of offensive. So 40 it's fine. I just was expecting more like 38, 39. I don't know. Also, their reaction to the 10s was so sweet. Whitney literally like fell to the ground and started crying. Like that, I can't imagine the emotions that they're feeling in that moment. And after that beautiful dance, we had Andy and Emma. They did a quick step to Puttin' on the Ritz. They received an 8 and 3 7s for a total score of 29. That 8 from Carrie Ann is absolutely criminal. That was not an 8-worthy dance. In my opinion, this looked like a week 3 dance at best, and I am so glad he is gone. He barely took his feet off the floor. Like, it's a quick step. You have to like move your feet. You have to have some bounce to your movement, and he had none of that. Felt like it was so clunky. His posture and his frame was so rough, and I can tell that he's thinking about the steps. And I don't even know what week this is, 8? I don't know. It's quarterfinals. You should not be thinking about the steps as you are dancing. Or even if you are, you should not show that on your face that you're thinking. And I also felt like when his feet and his arms had to move at the same time, like, he was really struggling there. He can do one or the other. He definitely can't do both. And he can barely do one or the other. Carrie Ann called him courageous. Like, it's that hard. I mean, sure, I'm a dancer, so I know what it's like to go on a stage, but you are a lifelong celebrity performer. You can go on a stage, and you're a comedian too. Like, you're used to making a fool out of yourself. I don't think what you're doing is courageous in any means of the sense, and I think that you've been taking this opportunity away from other people who deserve to be in the quarterfinals with your like weird, I don't know, energy. Like, I feel like he was leaning too much into it too towards the end, because he knew if he was like, oh, I'm just a sweet Andy, oh, so hard to be me, that like people would sympathy vote for him. So I'm so glad he's gone. I was really over that. There were some people I was happy went home before him, like Scott, but after that I was like, get this man out of here. Bruno saying it was quick and it had plenty of steps was so funny to me. And then Tom said that Len would have loved it, and I really wish that they would stop using Len like that. Like, you don't know that he would have loved it, and I'm pretty sure he would have hated it, because Len liked good dancing. Like, he hated when bad celebrities went out there and barely moved, and I feel like that's what Andy was doing. Sorry. After that, we saw a really beautiful tribute dance, though, speaking of Len. Riley and Ezra did this gorgeous dance. Like, Riley is such a good dancer, and I really hope that next season we get to see her with someone who has a real shot at winning, because even though she made it to the finale last year with Steven, I feel like he still wasn't like a great dancer. I think if he was on this season, he would have gone home before the finale. So I'd love to see her with someone like a Robert or like a Joey or like one of those strong male contenders, because she's just such a good dancer and she's so creative with her choreography. She just needs to have a better partner to really showcase all that skill. And I know it's early, like that was only her 3rd season. They're not going to give her like a winner right away, and maybe she just needs to work on her coaching a little bit more, but she's just so gorgeous. I would love to see more from her. Back to the competition. After that dance, we saw Dylan and Daniela. They did an Argentine tango to Ain't No Sunshine, and they also received 4 10s for a total score of 40, our 2nd perfect score of the season. I loved this dance. It was really pissing me off that people said that he didn't do a lot in his dance. I even saw people saying that Andy moved more than Dylan. You clearly don't understand what's going on if you think that Andy did a better dance than Dylan and Daniela. Like, that's crazy. He did so much footwork. Were we seeing all the kicks that he was doing? If you think that he didn't do anything, you must have been like hands over the feet, just looking at his upper body. But that's kind of how his upper body is supposed to be. He shouldn't be like moving all around like when he's doing an Argentine tango. And leading is just such a hard thing to do, and he's doing it so effortlessly that it makes it look like he's not like doing a lot of hard stuff, because he's doing it so well, and that's the whole point of being a man in a ballroom pair. And all of those lifts too, like Daniela she may be just tiny, but she's still a person, and it's gonna be hard to lift her, and he does it with like no stress on his face. He just looks like he's just throwing up a beach ball. So like, it's really frustrating when people are saying that he's not doing a lot and he should go home, because it's hard to compare him to someone like Alex, where she's like doing so much in the dance because she's the female. It's a different competition when you're the guy. And his frame is just so good, and it's so hard when Daniela is so much shorter than him. Like, you saw it a bit, little teaser, in his partnership with Rumor, because she is more of his height. Like, you saw a bit of a stronger frame, but even with Daniela, like, he is holding so well, and she is such a powerful dancer. It'd be so easy to be overpowered by her, and he's not letting that happen at all. He is in control. Carrie Ann said that this was the best Argentine tango from a male star. Me and my mom did go back and watch the other Argentine tango that she mentioned, and we do agree, like, Dylan's was really, really incredible. Tom said it looked like 2 pros, totally agree, and Bruno said he wasn't dancing, he was starring. Like, I love that they're really highlighting that he's being such a leading man, because a lot of like casual viewers just don't get that. They don't see it in the same level as someone with more Dancing with the Stars viewership experience might see. After that, Jordan and Ezra went and they did a cha-cha to Get Up. They received a 9, a 10, and 2 more 9s for a total score of 37. I love this dance. I do feel like Jordan was a bit stiff in it. Choreography was really awesome, but there was just like a little something missing. Like I said earlier with Elaine's, I think the Latin dances are just a little bit harder to get a perfect score out of. Like, when you're dancing with your partner and dancing in frame, you can like do a little bit more because you have them there, but when you're side by side, it's a little bit harder. I also would just love to see more from her face. I feel like when she gets into these like serious, non-smiley dances, she has like a serious look on her face, but she gets like dead in it, and she, like, when you have a serious dance, you need to like engage your eyes and your mouth still. Like, even though you're not smiling, you're still working your face, and I feel like with her, she's not really doing that. So I just love to see more from her. I think I've commented on this a couple times already this season, so I don't know if at this point if we're gonna get that, but it would just take her to the next level and would push her into that perfect score territory. I also felt like she was holding a lot of tension in her arms. Carrie Ann also commented that her shoulders were up. And then Derek obviously loved this dance. He was the one to give it a 10. He commented on her texture and her movement and how that was really great. I also loved when he was giving his feedback, he was like closing his eyes and was like, sorry, I'm picturing it. And that is so dancer. Like, when I was dancing, I would like close my eyes and like, you would see me sitting there just like, and I was like running my routine in my head, but I'm not even really seeing anything behind my eyes. It was just focus. So overall, like, it was a good dance. I just want that next level from her. It feels like she's holding back. I don't know, there's just something missing, and I don't feel like she's fully like embracing the dancing yet. She's just thinking too much almost. After that, my queen, Alex and Val went, and they did a foxtrot to Singing in the Rain, and they received 4 10s for a total score of 40. Thank God they finally got the perfect score that they so desperately deserved. Like, this, in my head, is her 3rd perfect score of the season because of Cheryl and Flavor Flav giving them 9s in the past 2 weeks. Like, that was ridiculous. So really, 3rd perfect score for her. She just looked so gorgeous and elegant. In their package, Val mentioned that he wanted her to get lost in the joy, and you really saw that in this dance. I love her drive that she has. Like, you can tell she is working so hard, and you could really see that joy in her performance. You could see it on her face, you could see it in her movement. She was like having fun. Carrie Ann said that she was finally letting go. Like, this, if she hadn't done such incredible dances in the prior weeks, this would probably be a breakout dance, because you just see that next level of comfort on her. And like I've said it once and I'll say it again, I'll probably say it until they hopefully win, that her growth has been so incredible. Like, go back and watch her week 1 dance. I did not like her week 1. I mean, I liked her coming into the season, but I didn't like her week 1 dance. It was rough, it was clunky, it was tense. And now look at this foxtrot. That growth is incredible. I think she's been the most improved this season by far. Her facials were giving. It was so smooth, so elegant. That really looked like 2 pros out there. If I didn't know, I wouldn't be able to guess who was a professional. Her arms were so light. They were so perfectly placed. I love that little foot thing that they did at the end. Like, the choreography was incredible. It showcased her and her skills, and she just ate it up. I saw some people saying it was boring. I just think they don't like slower dances. But I loved all of the like different, you had that moment where they were like waddling, and like there was humor in it as well. And it's a foxtrot. You don't really get a lot of humor in foxtrots. It was just perfect. Bruno called it ballroom heaven. He said it had essence, class, and sophistication. They also got a slow clap from Bruno. Derek said clean, classic, smooth, sophisticated, and he had some other adjectives, but all those words were just the perfect way to describe this. It was so, so incredible. Absolutely loved it. Well-deserved and overdue. Perfect score. After that, Whitney and Mark went, and they did an Argentine tango to cell block tango. They also received 4 10s for a total score of 40. I loved it. Like, it was incredible. Don't get me wrong. Her lines were incredible. Such precision. So much footwork. She killed everything. So much intensity. So much control. It was captivating. But I just feel like I've seen that from her before. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like she's kind of given us the same energy every week, even though they're different styles and different songs. And the choreography is incredible every week. I just feel like I'm seeing the same thing over and over again. And because she started so strong, I haven't seen as much improvement from her, which I think is hurting her, like, fan vote. But I don't know, like, it was incredible, obviously, but I just want more from her. I want something different. I want something even more creative than what they're already giving us. Okay, so on to the relay dances. This was so fun. I loved seeing former mirror ball champions back in the ballroom. Loved that they danced without their pro partner. So creative. Up first, we saw Jordan and Apollo Anton Ono versus Elaine and Rashad Jennings, and they did a quick step to I Get a Kick Out of You. Jordan and Apollo won this dance-off. I think with this relay specifically, you did see a little bit of rustiness with the former stars. I think more with Rashad than Apollo, which makes me sad because I love Rashad Jennings. Like, he's one of my favorite winners. I can't even tell you why. He's just like one that has always stuck with me. And also 2 Olympians on one team is pretty lethal. Like, I know Rashad is also a professional athlete, but that seems a little unfair, but whatever. Again, like, I would have loved more performance from Jordan. She totally should have smiled in this dance, and she didn't smile. And Elaine, on the other hand, was such an incredible performer. She was smiling, she was giving us joy, and I just didn't feel that same energy from Jordan. And I think Jordan and Apollo were technically better, but Elaine and Rashad gave us a better performance. So for me, a person who loves the performing side of it, my winner was Elaine and Rashad. But I totally understand why Jordan and Apollo won. Like, they were technically better, but, you know, just, I just want to smile. You should be having so much fun out there. Like, I would kill to be out on that floor with any of these people, like former star or professional. I don't think I would be able to stop smiling, so I just want to see her let go and have fun. I also think that Apollo did a better job partnering with Jordan than Rashad did with Elaine, which helped them. I felt like Rashad and Elaine were kind of like fighting each other, like maybe not totally comfortable in their partnership yet. So yes, like, makes sense that Jordan and Apollo won, but just love to see her smile. After that, we saw Dylan and Rumor Willis with Andy and Caitlin Bristow, I believe. And they did a Viennese waltz to Earned It. Dylan and Rumor obviously won that. No matter who was going up against Andy, they were going to win. But even that aside, Dylan and Rumor, what an incredible partnership. They looked like 2 professionals on that floor. And that even shows further the leading man energy that Dylan is giving. This is a person that he's danced with for 1 week. I don't even know how much rehearsal time that they got. And, like, there was no misstep, there was no awkwardness in their partnership. It was so incredible. I want to see them dancing like even more together. Like let's do a season where it's just former stars and let's put them together so I can see a whole season of them dancing together. It was so awesome. He did like really throw her at the end there. It kind of looked like he was like running after her to make sure she didn't get hurt. But it was like, I was just blown away. I would have loved to see a full dance from them. But unfortunately we did have to split it with Andy. You know, it is what it is. It was funny. Like the shirt thing was funny. You know, he like really played into it. I think he knew that this was probably his final week and what a way to go out. But like their partnership wasn't great. Like he didn't look steady in that. Like he's supposed to be leading that and he definitely wasn't. It looked like he was kind of like throwing her around. I felt like at any moment she could like just like tap him and he would fall over. But yeah, it was funny. Like the shirt, hysterical. Carrie Ann did like legitimately say that Andy had sex appeal and I totally disagree. I don't know how you can watch that and think that is legitimate sex appeal. It was just funny, but you know, she's a little crazy, so whatever. Our final relay of the night was Robert and Sochi Gomez versus Alex and Joey Grazady, and they did a jive to Dance With Me Tonight. Robert and Sochi won this jive. I think it could have gone either way. I obviously have Alex Earl bias, so I would have loved if Alex won, but I'm not upset. This was like definitely the best relay of the night. They both looked so incredible in their partnership. I also do think it was a little unfair that Val had to go up against his former champion in Sochi, but whatever. I love that like Robert and Sochi really matched each other's energy. Like they are both up here with their energy, so that was fun to see them together and in such a high energy dance like the jive. Loved that. I smiled through that whole dance on both sides with Alex and Robert. The only part I didn't love is that weird jump that they have Joey do. I know that he did that with Jenna, and a lot of the Alex and Joey jive was like directly pulled from his jive with Jenna, but I just hate that lift. It's weird. Like why are you like jumping and throwing your crotch up in her face? Like I don't need that. I do agree with Tom. He was saying bring back the results show. Like this show has grown so much in the past few years. I would love to see 2 episodes a week. We would get to see longer dances. We would get to see more judges commentary. Like they are so rushed right now. I feel like they don't even get to say what they want to say. So if we brought back that second episode, we would get to see a lot more of what the show is really about, the dancing, and not all of the like fluff in between. Overall, what a fun night. I really enjoyed all the ways that they celebrated this incredible milestone. I hope that they bring back some of this in further seasons. I would love to see more former stars dancing with current stars, more trios maybe as a way to do that. But overall, such a fun night. Little break from my normally scheduled programming. I have a very special guest this week, my mom, Deb. Welcome.
Thanks, Allie.
You're excited
I've been looking forward to this for so long.
Yay. So my mom's going to share a couple thoughts that she's had. We've really talked a lot about costuming, a lot of other stuff, so I'll let you go and I'll comment.
Okay.
As we go.
Let's start with that opening number. So incredible. I have been a dance spectator for 20 plus years, and watching that large group performance was so incredible. Just the pros are so good, and it just really kind of took me back to sitting in competition ballrooms watching large groups wow us. So it was really, really special. I thought the behind the scenes was really interesting, watching Derek be the choreographer with his wife and how they were being dance teachers to the pros. So I thought that was all pretty cool. Also loved that tribute to Len, Riley, and Ezra together were so amazing. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I know you talk a lot about how people don't like the pros dancing together or the Huffs dancing together, mm-hmm. but they're so good, and it adds to the whole experience of the show, I think.
Yeah, like people pay so much money to go see like Derek on tour or go see those pros on tour. Like, why are we complaining about seeing them do one dance on this like live programming? I don't understand that.
And I think it gives you a good compare and contrast
mm-hmm.
too, to see like what the stars are striving for.
Mm-hmm.
Next, I'll talk a little bit about Alex and Val. She is so good. That their foxtrot, just amazing. Her work ethic is so strong, and you really see it paying dividends for her. I think the hard work that she's putting in on getting the dance right then allows her to go out there and perform mm-hmm. like she does. Like her face, the way she engages, like she's the whole package. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really a testament to the hard work that she's putting in. loved the look in the foxtrot. That
Gorgeous.
Costume was amazing. The red lip, that hair.
Oh my god.
I would love to have an event where I could wear hair
right?
like that.
I don't think I could pull that off, but she looked so good.
I couldn't stop looking at her. It was just amazing. So I loved that. But when she was in the relay round, I didn't love her costume. I thought that they disadvantaged her with the way that they costumed her for that. She's tall and she does a great job controlling those long limbs, those long arms, and the long legs. But with the way they had her dressed, she was broken up into so many pieces. You had the top, you had a bare midriff, you had a skirt that flared, which made her legs look even skinnier, and then knees, and then white shoes with a red dress. I felt like it was really, really distracting. I was so distracted by the costume. I would much rather have seen her in, even if it was a top and a bare midriff, but a pair of pants, like those fringy pants with a shoe that didn't contrast, then one long line, and it would have been amazing. She danced that really well, but for me, the costume, I just I got lost in it. So.
She had a really great pant look for her quick step during TikTok night, and I thought that did like wonders for her because she is so tall that like highlighting her long legs as one continuous object really works to her advantage. But like you were saying, it really cut her up into pieces.
So many pieces.
Yeah.
Robert and Whitney also did a foxtrot. I loved that. I loved the way that they were costumed. Whitney, they definitely have a look for Whitney. Whitney Carson on that with the top, the bare midriff, the flowy skirts. She's just so gorgeous, and her dancing, amazing.
Yeah, and she has like 2 kids?
She has 2 little boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good for her.
Yeah.
I love that costume. The dance was just touched your heart. It made you smile. It like evolved so many emotions watching them dance. They're one of my favorites, and I thought his jive in the relay round was also really, really good. He's got the fact that he can do that serious and then that fun in the same show. Loved that.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Jordan. I worry about Jordan. I feel like Jordan started out when we first started watching the season, we commented that Jordan wasn't dancing like a gymnast, because sometimes the gymnasts do very staccato movements because that's what they're trained to do. And I think you see this in her face, that they're not trained to do the facial expressions because it's just serious and it's power and it's the athletic part of it. But I feel like as the dances have gotten harder, she's kind of reverted to that. So she's almost lost a layer in what she's doing. And I'd love to see her be able to kind of be more engaging in her dances. She's another one where I feel like sometimes they disadvantage her with the costumes. This week, I really, really didn't like the costume. The bubblegum pink and purple for that cha-cha with that music theme, I thought it was a really weird mix. I would love to see her in more earthy, like deeper colors. And in fact, when she did the relay round, the dress that they had her in was amazing. It was like a copper color. It was so good with her skin tone, and also the iridescent green in the skirt. Just beautiful.
Yeah, she looked gorgeous there. I was really surprised with the color choices for her cha-cha, because I feel like with the rest of the costuming for that like freestyle tribute round, they matched what the like OG freestyle person wore. And in Wayne and Whitney's dance, Wayne was wearing red. I don't remember what Whitney was wearing. I think it was also red. So it was weird that they went pink and purple. Like I think red would have like been a better option there. Maybe not the best, but better than that pink and purple.
Let's move on to Dylan and Daniela. Oh my gosh. I am so impressed with him. He is so tall, such long limbs, and he obviously has incredible core strength because he has such control of that size body. And he dances into the floor. There's such a height difference, and he just manages that so successfully. It's beautiful. And those slow dances when he's moving around the floor, I just love to watch him dance. The lift that they did in the beginning where she was fluttering her feet.
Oh my god.
Just in awe of that. I could watch that move over and over again. And then it was really heartwarming to see her talk about how proud she was of him, like that proud mom moment she was having of him as the lead, the lead in when he was dancing with Rumor, and that came through. Like everybody said it. They looked like 2 pros out there, and that was really, really fun to watch. And my last thoughts are about Mark and Whitney. Whitney, technically so good.
Yeah, incredible.
Like you said, there's really not a dance style that she can't do. Her so precise. Like she's just, from a technical dance perspective, she would be the winner. right? Like she's got it all. But there's just some like a layer missing with her where a lot of the other dancers when they perform, it makes me feel joy, and that's what I look for in dance, and that's what I always got when I watched you dance. But just I love that like connection that you feel, what they're doing with their face, how they're looking at you, what they're like, how you can tell how they're feeling, and she just seems to miss that layer from me. Like I'm always in awe, like wow, that was just incredible, but I don't feel anything when I watch her dance. So I hope that I don't know, that they can find a way to bring that out of her. The other thing is I have a little beef with how they costume her. They've put her in a lot of dark colors, and she's the villain on Mormon Wives. I've not seen it, but I've heard you say that she's the villain, and that kind of comes through. And so, but they have her in a lot of black costuming, a lot of very tight, slick back, harsh hair. Like her costuming has been a little more harsh, and I think that also adds to that, like not drawing you in. She did have in Wicked Week, she did Popular, and she was in pink then. Her hair was down more. She's had a couple of others where her hair's been down, and a little bit lighter costume. I think the Dedication Week, right?
Yeah.
She was in like silver, and her hair was down. So I'd like to see a little bit more of that. I feel it just like makes you feel something, and that she's not just a robot out there doing these really, really precise moves. Yeah. But it can emote some more emotion out of you. So.
Yeah. Like I feel like I don't know her from her dancing. Like I was really impressed in the early weeks with her facial expressions, but now she's been giving us the same facial expressions in every dance. It's always the like, ooh. Like it's weird. It doesn't, it somehow fits every dance, but it's been the same every time. So I just,
I'd like to see something different this week. Remind me again what she has this week. Maybe we'll see some different expressions out of her.
Yeah, she's doing a cha-cha and a Viennese waltz.
Oh, okay. So I'm really hoping for flowy and brighter colors.
And I think too, like in terms of faces, she hasn't ever done two dances besides like the team dance. But like this past week, she didn't do two dances, so she didn't have that challenge of like giving us two different routines.
That's true.
So I wonder if like we'll see the same facial expressions from her in those two very different dance styles. That'll be a real test.
I thought that was a disadvantage for her. I mean, good to get the points and, good for recovery to not have to learn two dances this week. But I think it would have been good.
Yeah.
If she had been able to be out there and be part of that.
Yeah, and it kind of sucks. Like if you're going to get immunity from something, you don't want it from
a fun challenge like that.
When you're dancing with a former winner.
That was a win, not win.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
Who has been your most improved this season?
I think it's Alex. You just see how hard she works, and she started out strong, but her work ethic and the layers that she's been able to add in, I'm just really impressed with that. So I think she's the highest arc.
Me too, I agree. Who have you been most disappointed with this season?
For the people that are remaining, I think it's Jordan. I feel like there's still so much more there. She's so strong, physically strong, and she's got that power, but she just doesn't finish her movements. She's dancing like a gymnast. I want to see her work into the floor more, extend more. Also, she's another one, like, I don't get a lot of joy from her. I think she's happy with it. It's just it's not coming through the screen. So I think I'm most disappointed with her.
And we have seen like so many strong gymnasts on this show. Lori Hernandez, she won with Val. Shawn Johnson did 2 incredible seasons. I don't think she won either of those seasons, which is crazy. And she also got to dance with Derek and Mark as her partners. Like forever jealous of that. But then someone like Simone Biles, I think she's having a similar arc to what Jordan is having right now, where she also got comments about not fully performing, and they are like at the top of the class when it comes to Olympic gymnasts. So we can never take that away from them. But when it comes to the ballroom, like I just want to see that joy. I want to see them having fun. And Simone like famously had a quote where someone was like, "You're getting all this positive feedback. Why aren't you smiling?" And she was like, "Smiling doesn't win you medals." So hopefully we don't have a moment like that with Jordan, but just I want to see her smile.
Yeah,
I want to know that she's having fun.
She's having fun. I think I just want to see it more.
Okay, and last question, who is your winner pick for this season?
That's a tough one. I am really torn between Alex and Robert. I think it's going to be Alex. I think she really hasn't had a misstep at all. Like she's been solid in everything. And I think he's had a couple where he, not really, like it's still good. Yeah. But I think in the end that she will pull it out. And I think Val will be able to both will choreograph a fantastic freestyle, but I think those will be amazing.
Yeah, that's going to be like the battle of the freestyle queens. Like we saw, I think there was 1 former Val freestyle and 2 former Whitney freestyles this past week for their like freestyle tribute moment. But those 2 like are probably some of the best freestyle
Yeah.
choreographers that you'll ever see.
Yeah, so I'll be thrilled if it comes down to the two of them, and I think it's gonna be Alex.
Oh my god, my heart is going to be racing when they have that moment. Yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna be either Robert or Alex. I think both have a very large fan base too. Like obviously Alex is a famous TikToker, and Robert Irwin, like that's a household name at this point. So yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see who pulls it out.
Yeah, it's an interesting compare of their fan bases too. The Irwins are so well known.
And you have like the Bindi moment of like it would be full circle if he won, you know, however many years after she was on. And we've also like very recently had a TikTok celebrity win with Charli D'Amelio, so maybe some people won't like that. There has been comments about like these young girls winning a lot because it was Charli, then Sochi, and then people thought maybe Chandler was going to win last season, but it was Joey instead. And now we have like another like young, I mean she's my age, she's 24, young girl like dancing. So we shall see.
And Robert now has the UK vote.
Yeah. Yeah, can we talk about that for a second? How crazy was that?
I really don't think Whitney knew. I really think her reaction was so legitimate.
Yeah.
Like, she was so shocked. She's like, he said my name.
Yeah, and she like is a professional on Dancing with the Stars. She's danced with a lot of celebrities, and that was her like moment of shock. That was so funny.
And how humanizing too for Prince William.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, love that. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was really great having you and talking about Dancing with the Stars.
I'm so happy to be here. We've talked about this for so long, so I'm thrilled that we got to make it happen.
Probably almost 20 years of talking about Dancing with the Stars.
It's like a sport for us.
Yeah. So. Looking ahead to next week, we have the semifinals. I cannot believe that the semifinals are already here. And the theme next week is Prince Night. I do wish that they switched these, like have Prince Night be this past week and then the birthday celebration be in the semifinals, because I feel like the semifinals are such a big night. It should have more of a loose theme where Prince is a little more restrictive, but whatever. Each couple will be doing 2 full dances this week, so this is the first time this season that we are seeing that. They are going to be doing one style that they have already done, and then they will be doing a new style. Alex and Val are going to be doing an Argentine tango to Little Red Corvette and a Viennese waltz to Purple Rain. The Viennese waltz is their repeat dance. They did that during Disney night. I'm so excited about both of these styles for Alex. Her Viennese waltz was a breakout moment in my opinion. And from that moment on, she has just put out an incredible dance week after week. And they have been so different. Like at no point do I feel like I've seen the same dance from Alex, and I've really loved that. And I cannot wait to see her in that style again because she has grown so much since week 4 Disney night. I'm also ecstatic that we're going to finally see her in an Argentine tango. With those legs, like her kicks are going to be so incredible, and she's been so good in these really intense dances this season, so we'll get to see that in both of her styles this week. And her and Val have really good chemistry when they dance together, so I think that's going to be really highlighted in their Argentine tango. So I'm really hopeful that we'll see more perfect scores from her. I could really see her getting 2 perfect scores. I don't think we have a guest judge next week, so hoping for a total score of 60, if not 80. Dylan and Daniela are going to be doing a tango to I Would Die For You and a cha-cha to Kiss. The repeat dance is their cha-cha. They did this week 1. So it is hard to say how I think he's going to do with a cha-cha again. His week 1 dance was a little rough, but I kind of contributed that to like just excitement and nerves. Like he looked a little rushed, he looked a little unpolished, but he's grown so much since then. However, I feel like a lot of that growth has been in his ballroom styles. His most recent Latin dance was a jive in week 8, and he was a little messy there. He was like a little all over the place. So we'll see if he's able to carry that good momentum that he has in the ballroom dances to this cha-cha. I am really excited about the tango though. Like, as I mentioned, he has been incredible in his ballroom dances. He's really stepped into that leading role man, and we'll get to see that again in his tango. Not sure he'll get 2 perfect scores this week, especially in the cha-cha. Maybe the tango, but I don't envision a perfect score for the cha-cha. Elaine and Alan will be doing a paso doble to When Doves Cry and a foxtrot to I Want to Be Your Lover. Their repeat dance is the foxtrot, which they did during dedication night. They were totally underscored in this dance. I really don't know what the judges were seeing when they gave them their score. It was like such a classic foxtrot, so elegant, and I hope that we get to see that again. Elaine is just so gorgeous when she dances, so I think the foxtrot is going to be the perfect dance to showcase that. And I also cannot wait to see her in a paso. We haven't really seen her in a style like that. The closest that we got was the Argentine tango, but that was when she was injured and we just saw her rehearsal video. And from that video, we did see like a really great intensity. And I hope that in her paso, we finally get to see that like really intense, fierce, sharp side from her. We also did get a little bit of that in her contemporary during Wicked Night, but this is going to be like even more controlled and like precise. And I think that she is going to kill it. And those dance styles that she has this week are like on two opposite spectrums of like vibe. So I think that's really fun. It's going to be a big challenge, but I'm really excited. I've also been really impressed with Alan's choreography this season. I think he is a very underrated pro in terms of choreography. He keeps everything so classic while still highlighting the talent level and the personality of Aline. So I really hope that we get to see her until the end. I would love to see a freestyle from the two of them. I worry that she may be at the bottom of the leaderboard this week compared to some of these other like stronger stars. But I think that these dance styles are really great for her, so I really hope that we see a perfect score, and I would love to see her at the top of the leaderboard. I personally will be giving 20 votes to Aline, and I hope that you will too. Jordan and Ezra have an Argentine tango to You Got the Look and a jive to Raspberry Beret. Their repeat dance is the jive, which they did week 2. It was a really strong dance from them. Week 1 was a little bit weak for them, and then week 2 they like came out hot. I'm really excited to see her in this dance style again. I think they'll be able to highlight her athleticism. I think they'll be able to have a lot of fun with the choreography. We'll probably see some like really cool gymnastics tricks from her in this. So overall, I think that's going to be a good dance. I'm also really excited to see her in an Argentine tango. My hope for her though is that she performs it. Like I've said countless times already this episode, that when she has these like non-smiley dances, she gets a little dead in her face. And I saw that a lot when I was dancing. Like we had a lot of dances that weren't smiley, and then you would just see people do nothing. And that's not what a non-smiley dance is. Like you can't just be like for the whole dance and hope that reads as like fierce and intense. So you have to still do stuff. And I really hope that she does that, because I think it's going to just push her to that next level. I would love to see a perfect score from her, but I just need that performance aspect from her. I also do worry she could miss the finale. I think the judges have been like scoring her pretty hard, and rightfully so, because she is so talented and she just has been like missing that oomph and that like next level that some of these other stars have like unlocked. So I'm hoping for a really, really strong week from them, because I would also love to see an Ezra freestyle, and how cool would it be to make the finale in just your second season? Robert and Whitney have a Viennese waltz to Wow and a jive to Baby I'm a Star. This will be their third jive, that's their repeat dance. They did a jive week 1, and they just did a jive last week with their relay dance. So I low-key think it is a bit crazy that he gets to do it 3 times, because that's obviously his strongest style. He came out so hot in week 1. Like, I think if he did that week 1 dance now, it would be a perfect score. But they just obviously couldn't give them 10s in week 1. So I do think that is a bit of an unfair advantage, but you know, it's just Dancing with the Stars. It's not that deep. So I also think that they'll get a perfect score for their jive this week. And for their Viennese waltz, Robert has definitely gotten a lot better in ballroom, but I do still think sometimes he can get a little bit stiff. He can miss some of those like final moments of extending his lines. If he can avoid this stiffness, which he did this week in his foxtrot, I think that they could see 2 perfect scores for them. And I also think that he is a lock for the finale. I would be absolutely shocked if he goes home this week. I think he has the scores, he has the votes, everyone loves him. Like, that would be so surprising. Lastly, Whitney and Mark will also be doing a Viennese waltz to Slow Love and a cha-cha to 1999. Their repeat dance is their cha-cha, which they did week 2. That was a really, really strong performance, and I think that she's probably one of the best Latin dancers this season, because she can go out there and give you a lot of wow, give you a lot of personality, give you a lot of performance quality. And like I said earlier, a lot of her dances have felt the same to me this season, but I think the cha-cha, it's going to be hard to make that feel the same as like her Argentine tango and her paso and stuff like that. So I think that will be a good breakup from all the other stuff that she's been giving us. And I also think her Viennese waltz will be incredible. Like, she's such a strong dancer. There's not a style that she could do that I'd be like, oh, that's probably going to be a little rough for her. Like, I literally can't think of one that would be bad. And she hasn't really given us a bad dance, just a lot of sameness. I also think from a dancing perspective, she is obviously good enough to make the finale. If it was based on dancing alone, I could totally see her winning it. But people really don't like her, especially from like Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. She's the villain there. people just don't really like jive with her personality. So I do worry if a lot of the scores are similar this week, like if we're seeing a lot of perfect scores again, seeing a lot of 8s and 9s, I worry that she could go home because I don't think she has the fan vote that a lot of these other people do. I'd love to see them in the finale, would love to see a freestyle, but I won't be totally devastated if they miss it because I do love Elaine and Dylan, who I think are also towards the bottom of that bunch. So I think no matter who goes home this week, it is going to be heartbreaking for them. And I'm assuming only a single elimination. I think we're going to see a 5-person finale again. I would be absolutely shocked if they did a double elimination in the semifinals, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed my mother's guest appearance. It was really fun having her on. It's my first time having a guest, obviously. So that was so much fun. That is all for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss next week's video. Bye!